Tonight, Australia through the eyes of a European. An abomination jumps through the streets. And we go for a race. Hey everybody, it's Aidan here once again, and welcome back to Assetto Corsa for another video. Now today I'm doing another one of these sort of Top Gear style challenges in that, can I get a Formula 1 car to lap Bathurst? Now if you're not familiar with Bathurst, it's a track in New South Wales, which is in Australia, and it's home to an event every year where Ford and General Motors fans, or Holden fans, go to a field in Australia and have a massive piss-up and a massive fight. And in the midst of this piss-up and this fight, a motor race breaks out. It's called the Bathurst 1000. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do a couple of laps in this. This is Craig Lowndes' Holden Commodore from 2011. And then I'm going to hand it over to Lewis Hamilton's 2007 McLaren Mercedes. And we're going to see how well we can get round and see if we can get round without binning 8 million quid's worth of Formula 1 car into a concrete wall. So, more about Bathurst. Well, it's not just an event, it's not just a race, it's not just a town, it's not just a circuit. As this video is about to show you, for the people who live in Australia who are motorsport fans, it is way more than that.
Bathurst is a massive deal for our sport. It's our Melbourne Cup, it's our AFL Grand Final, it's our day that stops the nation.
We're underway!
It's a long race, but some people don't finish the first lap.
Scaife is in the wall! Scaife day is done!
And Bathurst is so emotional because of the tradition of the event and the style of racetrack that it is. It's one of the wildest places you could ever race.
The track has just got everything. There's absolutely no room for error. It's extremely fast, it's extremely wild, massive undulation.
Even after being there 13, 14 times, it just mind boggles at the speeds that we go across the top of the mountain at.
Oh, this is just amazing.
It's got high speed, it's got a lot of concrete.
That's massive damage.
The atmosphere on the first lap as you go across the top of the hill, and you can hear everyone cheering. It's not like anything else we ever do.
It's tough. You really have to put everything on the line.
That was a massive gamble. Oh no! He's hit the fence!
Standing on top of the podium with 100,000 people below you all screaming. It's an unbelievable feeling.
I mean, it's up there in world motorsport terms like no other circuit in this country.
There's no denying that this mountain is a special place. For nearly 50 years, this treacherous 6.2-kilometre circuit has shaped motorsport in this country. A huge, huge, huge moment. Unbelievably bad. Oh, look at this! Oh! That is out of control! The biggest event on our calendar demands unprecedented coverage. For the next 3 days, Seven will broadcast 19 hours of motorsport from the world-famous Mount Panorama. And you've got the best seat in the house. Is this history in the making? More than 160 cameras from every conceivable vantage point. Trackside, pit lane, on board and in the air. You won't miss a thing. That was something very special. For the first time in Australian television history, Seven will simulcast Sunday's 1,000-kilometre marathon on 7 May in stunning high definition. Oh my goodness! It's another history-making year at the mountain. Explosion, that was a shocker. The super cheap auto Bathurst 1000, only on 7.
So, that is Bathurst. And, yeah, I'm going to be taking a Formula 1 car to Bathurst to see what kind of lap time we can do. And this was actually done by Jenson Button in real life. Now, Jenson drove a car very similar to this. I think it was the 2008 one he drove, but this is the 2007 one. It's all I've got to work with, unfortunately. So I can't do it exactly how Jenson and Craig did it in real life. But unlike in real life, if I stuff this thing into a wall, I've not written off 8.5 million quid's worth of Formula 1 car. Assuming that's how much this thing cost. But this is VRC's McLaren. I forget what MP4 it is. I'll have to put that in the description. This is another one of these paid betas that VRC have been putting out. So VRC, please stop. You are costing me so much money, but at the same time, I'm happy to hand over my money to you, because like the Renault I drove, like the Williams I drove the other day, which will all be linked in the description below, this thing looks absolutely beautiful. V8 powered Formula 1 car against a V8 powered sort of saloon car, I guess. And there's not much else to say about it. This is Hamilton's car. I didn't want to drive Alonso's version because I drove Alonso's Renault in a previous video. And Jesus, I mean, look at it. I think VRC need to put up their minimum donation. No, actually, don't put up the minimum donation because you're going to cost me so much more money. But I mean, this thing's absolutely beautiful. So what we'll do is we'll take the V8 supercar over to Bathurst. I'll do a couple of laps, see how fast I can make it go around. Then we'll take the McLaren round, and I hope to beat 1 minute 50 in this car. So, can I do it? Let's find out. Right, so Bathurst, New South Wales. Now, I've never been to Australia. You know, being upside down terrifies me up here, so I'm trying to think what it'd be like to be down there and be upside down 24 hours a day. I know that's not the case, but I'm joking, Aussies. So my first introduction to this track was in Toka Race Driver 2 on the PlayStation. Well, PlayStation 2, I should say. And the V8 supercars, I think it was from like 2004, 2005, were in that game. And all the great Australian tracks were there, like Sandown was on it, I believe, Adelaide, Gold Coast, that one in New Zealand, Pukekohe. Is it Pukekohe? I think it might be Pukekohe, and that one that had the figure of 8, Oran Park and Phillip Island. And then at the end of one of the seasons, this one popped up, Bathurst, and I thought, this has got to be fictional, because no one is this insane. Not even the people that built the Nürburgring are this insane. And it was such a difficult track when I was like 15 years old to master. And then more and more people in Europe became aware of Bathurst and the Great Race and all that stuff. And everybody in Europe now wants to race at Bathurst. As we come up down the Conrod Straight into the chase. Brake a little bit early, just make sure I've got some temperature in the tyres. Trying to find my braking point. I'm too used to the R Factor 2 V8 supercars. These things are on rails in comparison. Where's my braking point? Let's see if I can... And my fastest time around here is 2 minute 11. I am slow around here. So let's see what we can do. As I lock up into Hell Bend, Hell Corner, whatever you want to call it. Still not totally used to the brakes. Might shift the brake balance back a tiny bit. Haven't driven this track in years. But I have done a bit of a setup tweak to try and learn the track, so I'm not binning it on every corner and embarrassing myself. I'm running extreme amounts of camber. Now, if any Australians are watching and you can give me some pointers, I will happily listen to you. I am just a palm. I have no idea what I'm doing around here. I think that's McPhillamy Park into the S's skyline. I wish we still got Motors TV over here in England on Freeview, because I love watching the V8s. That's where I got introduced to Whincup and Courtney and Frosty. and now I watch V8s religiously on YouTube. This is going to be an absolutely shocking time, but I might have enough jungle juice in the car to go around another lap. This makes Tassie look like a Sunday stroll into Murray's. Minute 12. Well, that was shit. Let's try again. Mountain straight. Through whatever that corner is, I don't know. And up here is where Ambrose and Murphy had their handbags at dawn. Ambrose tagged Murphy and Murphy retaliated. That's what I saw. If you disagree, let me know. I've got 600 horsepower in the front of this glorified Vauxhall Insignia. That's basically the closest thing we have to one of these things. I suppose we have the Monaro, but in terms of like a family car, yeah, the Insignia. Maybe the Vectra, but we don't have the Vectra anymore. Oops. Oh no. No, 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 no. Oh shit. Got to concentrate so much. I wish I could drive this thing like Murph did and clock the lap of the gods, but I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe I've got the setup entirely wrong, but like I say, if you know more about these cars than I do, especially around here, then I'm just terrible. Then please let me know. I'll be forever grateful. And I can do maybe a proper race at Bathurst one day. In something that hasn't got a shit ton of downforce. Oh no, if I hadn't fucked that up. Oh, 1 minute 10.9. That's my new lap record round here. Okay, so 1 minute 10. Oh, sorry, 2 minute 10. I wish it was 1 minute 10. But yeah, let's get into the McLaren and go for a spin. So join me in a moment. Okay, Bathurst in a McLaren. Just trying to get used to it. Get some heat into the tyres. I'm going to put the brake balance forward a tiny bit, just to help. I say a tiny bit, I've jacked it right forward, haven't I? Just to help with the braking into hell corner. This is going to be the challenging part, I think. Will this be flat? I don't know. All I'm saying is, let's not find out. There is some rubber already down on the track from testing the volume levels. Totally didn't crash it, but this thing just flies down the track. Will we hit 200 as we go through the chase? Just about. Lock the rears a bit into Murray's corner. Right, a timed lap of Mount Panorama in a Formula 1 car. Would you like to see Mount Panorama as a round of the Formula 1 World Championship? Let me know in the comments. Oh God, my heart rate. My heart rate going through McPhillamy into Skyline. It's like I've just had Monster Energy drink intravenously put into my veins. Other energy drinks are available, but I'm shaking and my heart rate's going about 1,000,000 miles an hour. And if a simulated version of Bathurst is doing this to me, what would a real version do? I dare say it might actually kill me. Murray's corner. And my first ever time lap of Bathurst in a Formula 1 car is... I don't know. I don't have a... and I've gone and undone all my hard work. So, what I'll do is I'll get the time and we'll have a quick chat and then we'll go into the race. So, join me back in the showroom in a moment. And welcome back. The McLaren actually did it in 1 minute 44.2. Now, when Jenson did it, it was apparently around 145, 146. So, you know, I'm not trying to say that I'm better than Jenson Button, but smug face. But anyway, we're going to get into the final part of the show. I guess you could call it that. In that the Holden Commodore and the McLaren are going to race each other for 2 laps around Bathurst. Now, I will be driving the McLaren because it was so much fun to drive, and the Commodore is going to be driven by a tame racing driver. Now, some say that he and Marks and Spencer recently collaborated on a range of carbon fibre pyjamas, and that he is responsible for over 60% of all divorces in Indonesia. All we know is it's Craig Lowndes. And the other reason that Craig's going to be driving the car is because, you know, I'm a Ford guy, so I don't particularly want to drive the Holden anymore. I mean, it is essentially just a Vauxhall Insignia underneath, and that's also a pile of shit. So there you go, guys. I hope that was a entertaining and educational experience for you if you're not very familiar with the Mount Panorama Circuit. Until next time, if you enjoyed what you saw here today, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. I'm on my way to 20 subscribers. Get in. Until next time, I've been Aidan Millward. Have a great day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
If I bleed tonight, if I am set